What does a field operations manager do? In this video, I'm going to go through the key things that are a part of their role and an awesome approach that I've seen work firsthand that I think you're going to love. I have been a field director, a field operations manager, and I've seen this done quite well. So if you're into learning more and pulling in with me the research and my experience and yours together, then stay with us on this video and we'll get it done. All right, so I'm pretty excited about this. I love this position. Let me say first and foremost that there is a really neat approach. I'm going to tell you about a great general superintendent and then field director that I loved watching, and the approach was absolutely dynamic. And for this individual, it was all about relationships. And I can learn, and I need to learn and have learned a lot from this approach, right? A lot of times I'm thinking, Jason, I'm like, I know how it should be and blah, blah, blah. And, like, this is how we scale. That is not the way to do it, right? When you come at somebody thinking that you're the best, right? Or when you come at somebody thinking that your idea is the best and you push something on somebody, they're not going to want to do it. And I'll tell you, this individual that I'm talking about did such a great job as a GS and a field director, and this was his approach. He would first get to know, and if I had to do this tomorrow, if I had to go back and be a field operations manager or field director or field operations director, whatever my title is, I would literally get to know the people that I'm working with. Number one, job site, the corporate office, the estimating team, anybody that I worked with in other departments, and I would get to know them like really well. And I would start to become their biggest fan. And this person that I'm talking about, that I'm thinking about, did that all the time. In fact, let me just pause for a minute. Every time I talked to this person, I literally thought he was my biggest fan. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person believes in me this much. And for me, I don't know about you, but when somebody believes in me, I want to do 10 times what I'm asked. I want to outperform. He would go connect with people and get to know who they were. And then he'd be like, oh my gosh, okay, so this is what we're doing. And instead of being like, I want you to do this, this, and this, he would literally be like, all right, could you imagine if this job site was perfectly clean? Could you imagine, oh my gosh, we could work together and I can help you, or I want to see your plan, like what you have for us to be like so on schedule. Let's get some buffers. Let's get excited about it, right? And this is how he would talk. And so if I'm let's pretend I'm a project superintendent and the field operations manager or the field director is like coming at me and I'm like, oh gosh, or if this person that I'm talking about comes at me and I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm excited too. Let's do this. He would get you excited about it. He would listen and observe first. He would see how you want to do things first. He would really, really dig in. And I got to stress, this was your biggest fan. When you were there, you're like, I'm special. I can do this. And you're like, we will be the cleanest job site ever, or in Arizona, or in the United States, or whatever. And you got excited about it. So first of all, I want to say that's the kind of leadership we're looking for in this role. Let's dive into the responsibilities. The first thing that a field operations manager will do is to literally scale what he or she would be able to do on a project from an excellence standpoint to the entire company and to multiple projects. That's easier said than done because you're dealing with a lot of different personalities. But let me give you a pattern that a field operations manager will always follow. Number one, the position that he or she is in with the business structure will be solid. And there will be standards. And I'm not talking about a boring, full of text manual. I'm talking about visual standards. Think about the books that we have at Elevate Construction, TAC Planning, Elevating Pre-Construction Planning, TAC Steering and Control. Visual books. Think about Wes Crawford's book, Construction Surveying and Layout. There will be standard operating procedures for how work needs to be getting done. Then that field operations manager will really be developing people. Train. Everybody in the company should be trained on the operating system. I was actually listening to Paul Akers' 2-Second Lean this morning. We're about to go on a trip. Actually, it's like a study trip to Japan. It's a lean trip. And I'm reading his books again, and he said, Toyota doesn't do process and then people. Toyota is all about people. A really great field operations manager will be focused on training, elevating the people so that they can go do the work. And a field operations manager will coordinate to participate in monthly field walks on projects. This is where you observe, you provide feedback, and you support. You're not there to be a seagull and crap all over everything. You're there to support. You're there to say, what do you need help with? Oh, we can change that. Oh, we can update this. Oh, I'll ask the quality director to do this. Oh, we can update that in our manual. Like, you're there to support the job sites, and every month you want to be better and better and better. And guess what? You're grading the jobs based on the operating system and the things that they were trained on. That is absolutely crucial. So that's step number one, scaling excellence to multiple projects. The other thing is a field operations manager will manage directly the general, senior, project, other superintendents. Now, superintendents are an unruly bunch, right? They're very opinionated, and I love them. You're going to have really great influence here. So this is a situation where you've got to have a superintendent's group. Now, if you leave the superintendent's group by themselves, and you just say, you guys huddle and provide recommendations, they will always be fighting in ranks and never get anywhere. But if you can actually get in that group and be like, okay, you all are the experts, you run this company, let's talk about some things. Let's go ahead and this is a problem we need to solve. Let's solve it together. Hey, this is a standard. How should we roll it out? Hey, this is something that we're seeing that we want to get better. How can we get this on every job? And you have influence with that core group. Oh my gosh, you're going to go so far. And so training, developing, managing, coaching, mentoring. Did I already say mentoring? These folks is a part of your job. Number three, ensuring safety compliance. We've got to have a great culture. That means that each of these jobs are walked weekly by the appropriate people, and that you create a culture where these items are fixed within 24 hours. And so we'll definitely approach these supers from an influence standpoint, but they will know that when it comes to safety and cleanliness, you mean business. You will always be on top, right? You're not there to be buddy-buddy. You are there to be connected in a respectful relationship, but they got to know you mean business when it comes to safety, so you will hold the line. And then number four, one of the biggest ones, and if you have macro level TAC plans, visual TAC plans, checking in with the superintendents, and if you have general superintendents in between, that's super fine, but checking in strategically on the project to support. Oh my gosh, that's great. You just did a great job on that phase. Hey, have you thought about prefabricating this so we can shorten that bottleneck? Hey, we're getting a little bit close to substantial completion. Have you thought about rezoning? Right, looking at the overall strategic plan project by project by project by project, which is impossible in CPM and super possible with TAC planning. Checking in to make sure that we're hitting schedule compliance is a part of your role. Number five, coordinating labor, meaning staff to project sites, but also craft labor. Number six, resolving field issues. So the foreman and field engineers will solve things at their level, then go to the superintendent, then deal with the GS. And then if there's big roadblocks like a trade partner that's failing, or you need some kind of corporate policy or this big piece of equipment, you are a roadblock remover, and you will enable the teams, your field teams, by solving their problems as a top priority. If you ask them for stuff and then don't solve their problems quickly, you're going to get rid of trust. You've got to be proactive with that. And the last one that I want to say is that as a field director, you got to make sure all these projects come out of pre-con top notch, but with the involvement of the builders that will build these projects if possible. And you've got to create some workarounds if you don't. But you cannot hand off crappy projects and too much work onto supers and have them respect you. They've got to know that you're queuing up this work and you're keeping them stable, and they got to be like, that's my boy, or that's my girl, that's my sis right there, right? Like they are queuing me up so that I can do a great job. And so this is the role. Basically, you're helping to really take the vision of the overall company corporate structure and execute well, but you're executing with influence because these people, you are their biggest fan, and they want to work with you to implement it inside of this structure. So I'm going to put this into a blog post for you and a list for you as well. If you ever want more information about it, please check out our book, Elevating Construction Superintendents. There's another book, Elevating Construction Senior Superintendents, that will really help you out with this, or contact us. We actually have more books coming out for these roles that will help GSs and field directors. This is an amazing position. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.